Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode Eye to Eye Crypto. I'm your host Rocco today, and we're going to talk about the latest news, of course, that we see on the major outlet, especially on the X account, where you have a very strong development in there. So we're going to touch about the Arthur Britto post, and then we're going to touch also about the war conflict and in general the markets. What is the situation where we're standing now? So also I'd like to remind everybody to like and subscribe so you can help the channel grow, and also turn on the notification bell. That will help as well you to get the live notification, and especially when we go live, you're going to meet our co-host and friend Finch. Let's talk about today what's going on. So the major news is the conflict. Also Qatar seems like to have joined the conflict. That's absolutely an escalation, I will say. Things are getting a little bit out of hand, but opposite to that, you see the market reacting actually positive. And today, people were expecting to have a market crash or at least a bad blood, but instead we see the Bitcoin resilience, and also the price going back again over under $4,000, which is a very positive signal, and kind of connect to the video that I posted yesterday. That Bitcoin is an edge against pretty much war and uncertainty. And that's funny because Bitcoin has always been considered like a high volatility asset. In this case, seems to have on the other end become an edge. And also edge not only against war, but inflation. In fact, with the latest news of the Strait of Hormuz being possibly closed for all the ships that transport oil, which seems unlikely, but the experts say that it will go against the policy also of China and Russia, where they get pretty much 50% of their oil from the region. So, and this has been tried to be closed also back in the days, in the 70s. I think they tried to close the Strait of Hormuz to put a little more strength on the choke point, if you want, to the U.S. economy. It didn't work out. And it will be also, we'll say, economic suicide for the Iran per se. If they don't sell oil, what else they can do? They got money from China and Russia, especially to get oil in exchange of army supply. So I don't see that happening, but the price of oil moved a little bit, but not as bad as people expected, so which is a positive note. And now, also there was the CEO of Panther Capital, Bloomberg, recently stating that Bitcoin doesn't care about war. And why it doesn't care about war? It's a destination for investors and for a company that have a high liquidity, that don't want to see their money dissipate in just plain cash. So what war does is increase money printing incredibly. So the value of the power, the acquisition power of the money per se, so it's kind of evaporating. So this is why there is a search for a edge, which most of the time is gold, in this case now Bitcoin. More and more company, sovereign government, and now even states like Texas just announced they're gonna start their own Bitcoin reserve. They're gonna accumulate Bitcoin. So scarcity is gonna bring the price of Bitcoin up, and also is gonna generate a solid edge against inflation, and in this case against war. That's very important. One of the other news that I like to touch is also the recent Fed removal of from their documents the limitation of the banks of pretty much recommending crypto. I know before there were cases, and what I'll do, I'm gonna just publish right here in the corner the document. So before, if you had an account with some of the major bank, and I heard story from a lot of people that I know, that some of the transactions where you would try to deposit funds at some exchange were declined. And these were declining because the banks were trying not to make connection with crypto, because it was kind of have this gray area and kind of this kind of dark shadow. There was something illegal to work with. Now the climate change, also known in the government, the ACC, and now the Fed comes out with this document that allow banks to work finally without friction with the exchange and with customers that like to move funds and want to work with crypto. So you don't get more those transaction decline, and then you don't have to worry about anymore having your funds holded for a long time. I heard like an older story that people that had the money in the like Chase account, and one day they just went to withdraw and they were not able to do so, and their account was just closed right there on the spot with no notification in advance, like you can move some funds. Imagine you're traveling and then you're sudden and all your funds are kind of froze. And if you don't have another means of withdraw money, then you're in trouble. And this is why we go back. Okay, then now we go back to crypto, a while crypto and Bitcoin and XRP and other project. They are kind of give you an alternative. Okay. Now, also I'd like to remind you guys, if you like all this work, make sure to check inandoutcrypto.com. You'll find all the best crypto apparel. And also I want to remind you guys, if you're here in Vegas in August, Rare Evo is going to be here held on the Caesar Palace. So make sure to go to inandoutcrypto.com. You'll see the ad. If you follow the link, it's an affiliate link, so you can get 10% off. And also it helps the channel to grow. So definitely take a look at that too. So what I want to talk about is today probably more mysterious news. That's the Arthur Britto. You see the thumbnail. The Arthur Britto post on X after like almost 14 years of silence. And so you would say, but who's Arthur Britto? Why should I care? Well, Arthur Britto is one of the co-founders of the XRP Ledger, and with David Schwartz and some other co-founder, they create pretty much the XRP Ledger, and then it's completely disappeared. For the research that I done, it was never on the public eyes. He's a co-founder of Polysign, and also another trust capital. I think it's called Standard Capital Trust that was acquired recently from Ripple, and he's always gonna be working on the background. But what is kind of mysterious is the post per se. Not only the fact that this post has been absent, I mean, this account has been silent for so many years, is the post per se. It's just an emoji with no mouth, so no expression at all. What is the interpretation of this emoji? Well, I can speculate. An emoji without mouth is something that can say, okay, enough said, or I don't want to say something, or just watch and see what's going to happen. I mean, what do you guys believe? Leave a comment below. Let me know what is your interpretation of this emoji, what they can mean. We know that we have a very high expectation for the price of the XRP and the adoption of the XRP Ledger. So for me, it's bullish. I think, and some people were making fun and say, "Who's next?" Satoshi Nakamoto is gonna come back from the past and post something. I don't know. Well, that will be something to see. Who knows? But that's what a lot of people are speculating what the emoji can mean. And some people thought also the account was hacked somehow, and but David Schwartz just came out and said, no, the account is not being hacked. This is real. So it's kind of fun to think about it. It's open to interpretation. Maybe there is something in the horizon that we are not. As an XRP holder, probably we are expecting something big to happen very soon, but maybe we don't realize how big this project really is. And I don't find this as being a coincidence that this post just come out now in a plain turmoil, a change of the wind from the ACC and the government, ETF approval in a few months, at least the deadline is there for October. A lot of coincidence. I don't know what this account means. And what else is left for us to do is to keep a close eyes and also take advantage of these dips on the market to accumulate. And again, I like to kind of stay there. You don't have to go crazy, and you can make a little change by appointing little amount of money on this project. No financial advice. What I meant to say is just imagine if you can afford to put $100 today on XRP or some of the major top 10 projects. You will complain today if you had 10 Bitcoin, if you put $100 back on the days, what you have to lose. So $100 won't change your life anyway today, but probably it can if you get the right project 10 years from now down on the road. So again, like, subscribe, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can catch our live show with Finch, and maybe gonna bring another character on, so stay tuned for more, and check our inandcrypto.com for the best crypto swag. Until next time, ciao a tutti!